So the first thing I'm doing as always is priming the eye area, and to do so I'm picking up some of my MAC Painterly paint pot and I'm just quite literally painting this onto the lid with a small concealer brush. Then I'm using the warmth of my fingers just to press and melt that product into the skin. Next I'm setting that base in place with some powder. This is just a translucent one from Decay, anyone will do, but this is one I'm loving lately and I'm sure you'll see it in an empties video soon. I'm busting out my Makeup Geek shadows today as I bought some new ones recently and I've fallen in love with my collection all over again. The one I'm using at the moment is called Peach Smoothie and it works really well as a transition colour. I've applied it to the crease and now I'm running it down along the lower lash line. Keeping with the same kind of family of colours now, I'm going in with a slightly deeper shade called Creme Brûlée and I'm adding this into the crease as well. So I started on the outer corner of the eye and then buffed back and forth until I made my way across the crease, and then once again I'm smoking that shadow down along the lower lash line. Today's look has a warmth to it, so I'm taking a rich warm brown to add some depth. This shadow is called Cocoa Bear and it's absolutely gorgeous. Same method applies here, add the colour into the crease, starting on the outer corner of the eye and then pull it across the crease. And I'm just making sure not to pull it up as high as the previous shades because I don't want to cover them up. I want them to appear like a halo over the brown. Now I'm taking a clean blending brush and I'm sweeping it around the edges of the eyeshadow to make sure that they're nice and diffused. You shouldn't really have harsh edges because we've been building the colours up from light to dark, but if you do, don't worry. Instead of using a clean blending brush, pick up some of your face powder and use that to soften the edges instead. Next, I'm taking Americano, which is a deeper brown again. With the shadows that we applied previously, they were focused in the crease. With this brown, however, I'm mainly focusing it on the outer third of the lid, and then I'm fading that shadow up across the crease. I know it may seem excessive to use this many shadows and there's more to come, but it is so worth it to get that really nice gradient effect. To blend this shadow down along the lower lash line, I'm using a pencil brush because the blending brush is a little too big for this particular step. I want to keep that dark brown a bit closer to the lower lash line, and then I'm softening everything with my blending brush once again. Now I'm picking up some black eyeshadow and another pencil brush and I'm patting this shadow on the very outer corner of my eye. I'm starting by pressing the shadow in at the lash line on both the upper and lower lash line, and then again I'm softening everything very carefully with my blending brush. At this point I actually decided I wanted to intensify the lower lash line a tiny bit more, so I picked up some of that shade Americano again and with the use of a small angled brush I applied it right into the tear duct. Then I'm going back in with the pencil brush and just softening things out. The focus of this look for me is that pop across the lid, so I've just wet my brush with water, picked up some of that shadow from Makeup Geek and now I'm packing it onto the lid. By using the water it just kind of makes the shadow glisten a little bit more. You could use a makeup setting spray either to make the shadow pop, whichever's handiest. I'm taking a clean blending brush now and buffing back and forth over the part where the orangey colour meets the darker shades, just so that they fade nicely together. Once again I decided to intensify the look a little more, so I've just taken up some of that black eyeshadow and I'm adding it to where I want there to be more depth. Then I'm going to go around the edges of the look with a small bit more of Peach Smoothie, just to be extra sure that everything is nice and soft. Finally then I'm adding some lashes, followed by a couple of coats of mascara to blend my own lashes in with the false ones, and then that's it. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial and found it helpful. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.